Your dog presses their tongue against your skin every single day. You wipe your hand on your shirt and move on. But neuroscientists have discovered that every lick your dog gives you carries a specific message, and most owners have been ignoring those messages for years. Some of them mean love, some mean worry. And one type of lick is a warning you should never dismiss. We will get to that. The first thing a puppy ever feels is a tongue. Before their eyes open, before their ears work, before the world makes any sense at all, their mother's licking teaches them one thing: you are alive and you are safe. Researchers at Johns Hopkins found that a mother's licking triggers a flood of beta endorphins in the puppy's brain. These chemicals calm the nervous system, regulate body temperature, even kickstart digestion. Without this contact, puppies struggle to survive. That is not grooming. That is a biological lifeline. And here is what most people miss. When your adult border collie licks your hand before bed, they are not being weird. They are speaking the very first language they ever learned. Before they could see you, before they could hear your voice, they could feel a tongue. And that is the language they chose to keep using with you. But the chemistry behind this goes deeper than comfort. What happens inside your dog's brain when they lick you will change how you think about it. Most people assume licking is just a leftover habit, a quirk, something dogs do because dogs do it. That assumption is wrong. Researchers at the University of Pretoria measured neurochemical changes during physical contact between dogs and their owners. What they found was striking. The act of licking itself triggers a release of dopamine, beta endorphins, and oxytocin in the dog's brain. Your dog does not lick you out of habit. Their brain rewards them for it. Licking you makes them feel good at a molecular level. The same way a hug calms your heartbeat, a lick calms theirs. Think about that for a second. Every time you push their face away, you are interrupting a moment their brain built specifically to bond with you. Here is where the science gets personal. In 2015, a team at Asabu University in Japan published a study in the journal Science. They found that when dogs and their owners share physical contact and mutual gaze, oxytocin levels rise in both brains simultaneously. Not just the dogs, both. Oxytocin is the same hormone that floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn for the first time. Dogs are the only non-primate species on Earth that hijacked the human bonding system. When your border collie licks your hand, both of your brains flood with the same love hormone at the same time. This is not affection by metaphor. This is affection by biochemistry. You are bonding at the molecular level. Remember this. It connects to something we will come back to later: what your dog does when they sense you are in pain. Every lick your dog gives you triggers a chemical bond that mirrors what a mother feels holding her baby for the first time. But licking is only one of dozens of silent signals your dog sends every single day. Signals most owners walk right past without realizing. That is exactly why I wrote Chapter 4. The Silent I Love You. Inside my guide, The Secret Language of Dogs. It breaks down every quiet way your dog says I love you, from the size to the leans to the positions they choose to sleep in. You can download it instantly from the link in the pinned comment. Let us keep going. Because where your dog licks, you matters more than you think. Does your dog go straight for your face? Your hands? Your feet? Each one means something different. Alexandra Horowitz at Barnard College found that dogs use licking to gather chemical information from human skin. Different body areas carry different scent concentrations and emotional signatures. Face licking is the deepest signal. In wolf packs, only the most subordinate members lick the face of the alpha. When your border collie licks your face, they are not being silly. They are performing an ancient act of trust. Hands mean hello and tell me about your day. Feet mean I need comfort and your scent calms me. Your dog is not randomly licking. They are choosing where for a reason. For decades, people believed dogs lick humans because they crave the salt on our skin. It sounds logical. It is almost entirely wrong. Dogs have roughly 1/6 the taste buds humans have, around 1,700 compared to our 9,000. Salt barely registers. The real reason they return to your skin again and again has nothing to do with flavor. It has everything to do with information. Your skin is a newspaper to your dog. Every lick reads a headline, but this is where it gets deeper. Because your dog does not just read your skin. They read your emotions. Have you ever cried and watched your dog cross the room to find you? Most people assume their dog heard the sound and came to investigate. That is only half the story. Researchers at Goldsmiths University in London ran a study in 2012. They exposed dogs to people who were crying, people who were humming, and people who were talking normally. The dogs overwhelmingly approached the crying strangers, not their own owners sitting nearby, with submissive, nuzzling, licking behavior. They responded to the emotional cue, not to familiarity. And it goes further. Researchers at Cambridge found that canine olfactory receptors can detect changes in cortisol levels in human sweat. Your dog can literally smell stress, sadness, and fear on your skin before you show a single visible sign. When you cry and your border collie comes to lick your tears, they are not tasting salt. They smelled your sadness before the first tear fell. They chose to come to you. That lick is not instinct. That is a decision. This is what I mentioned at the beginning. The connection between licking and sensing pain runs even further than emotion. When your dog licks a cut or a bruise, your first reaction might be to pull away. After all, it seems unsanitary. Here is what you are actually stopping. Researchers at UC Davis found that canine saliva contains lysozyme, lactoferrin, and other antimicrobial proteins that actively inhibit bacterial growth. Ancient Egyptians documented dogs licking human wounds as a form of treatment. The Greeks built healing temples where dogs lick the sick. Your dog is not being gross. They are doing what their ancestors did for thousands of years. They are trying to heal you with the only medicine they have. And a study from the University of Bury found that dogs display a left gaze bias when they see human faces showing distress. Their emotional processing centers activate first. They feel it before they act on it. That lick on your wound is not reflex. It is care. When you walk through the door after work and your border collie launches at your face, tongue first, that is not random excitement. John Bradshaw at the University of Bristol traced this behavior back to wolf pups. In wild packs, pups lick the mouths of returning adults to trigger the regurgitation of food. It was a survival mechanism. The pups who licked hardest ate first. Domestic dogs kept the behavior but rewired its purpose. The survival instinct became a love ritual. That sloppy greeting when you come home is 15,000 years old. It is a ritual older than agriculture, older than writing, older than every city on earth. Your dog is saying three things at once. You came back. You are safe. Feed my soul. And this is why everything we have covered matters. Because when this behavior suddenly changes, it means something you cannot afford to ignore. If your dog has always been a licker and they suddenly stop, pay attention. Researchers at Texas Tech University found that changes in licking patterns correlate with chronic stress, gastrointestinal discomfort, and anxiety disorders. And Andrew Lucier at Purdue University documented that compulsive licking of surfaces, paws, or the air is one of the most common signs of canine anxiety. A dog who suddenly goes silent with their tongue is a dog whose world has shifted. New household member, changed routine, pain they cannot describe. Your dog has been talking to you with their tongue since the day you brought them home. If they suddenly go quiet, listen harder. Here is what it all comes down to. Every lick your dog gives you is an act of exposure. They lower their head. They close their eyes. They press the softest part of their body against yours. In the wild, that posture is surrender. With you, it is faith. Your border collie does not lick you because they are hungry, not because you taste like salt, not because it is a habit encoded by accident. They lick you because, out of every person on this planet, their brain chose you as the one worth bonding to at the molecular level. That is not affection. That is devotion encoded in chemistry. You wipe your hand on your shirt and move on. But now you know what you were wiping away. Every lick was a sentence in a language your dog has been speaking since before they could open their eyes. Your dog's life is measured in thousands of days, not tens of thousands. Every one of those licks is a day they chose to spend telling you something. If this video changed the way you see your best friend, subscribe to Dognsight so you never miss what they are trying to tell you. The next time your dog licks you, do not wipe it away. Read it. And if you have ever caught your dog wagging their tail and assumed they were happy, you might want to hear what scientists discovered about which direction they wag.